Hiya folks, how you doing? Welcome to another video. It's just going to be a little weekly update for you. Nothing too special, nothing too long. Before we get into the video, as always, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you're informed of all of the videos as and when I put them up. Also, can you please like and share? You know, it really does help out. Also, in the descriptions, please go check out my friends. You know, we're all trying to sort of help each other out. You know, there's a few of us. You know, we all do great work, and you know, it really does help out. Also, while you're in the descriptions, can you please have a look at my Teespring store? You know, it's a merch store. You know, we've got hoodies. Yeah, we've got hoodies, cups, t-shirts. You know, all sorts of products in all sorts of colours. So please go check that out and support me as much as you can. So this week, it's been quite a stressful week. The last vlog, you see, I had that Sophia in with a clutch problem. That was kicking my ass. Literally yesterday it went. Fucking pissed me off. Absolutely horrendous job. I just could not get the hydraulic clutch to bleed up. I'd replaced almost everything, and it just wasn't playing ball. And then sort of I had to walk away from it for a day and walk back, and then it was just like, you twat. So it was a little, like a little accumulator sort of deal. And I'd put that upside down. But you know, sometimes you know you just miss things, and the more you get stressed about it, the more you can't see the problem. So it was nice to walk away and then walk back to it with fresh eyes. So yeah, anyway, what else have we been up to? Started stripping this. Got the bonnet off, the window out. The rust streak that I showed you in the last video was this. So glad we did take the screen out in the end, because you know we can address that. We've also took the sunroof out. I suggest anybody that's doing one of these, just don't bother. Just cut the roof off and buy a roof with without a sunroof, because these are an absolute pain in the ass to get out. All of this rust is actually the sunroof, the glass frame. This is all come off of. So he's trying to source another frame for him. This is all surface rust here. I've had a really good stab at this. It's not too bad, but on this side there is a couple of pinholes, as you can see, so I've got to fix that for him. But all the headliners out now, and we can come on, focus, there we are. So I can get in there and I can replace all this for him, not a problem. Yeah, back glass is out, tailgate's off. I noticed some crust around here, but again, that's only surface, so we'll clean all that up. It hasn't, the seam's split a little bit, so I might replace a couple of little bits just to clean inside the seam, but other than that we're good. I'm back on this thing as well, because we had it running. I got it running on an easy start, but then he tried to start it again when it from cold, and he ended up flooding it. So I've had the plug out, left it a couple of days. You've completely drained the fuel out of it now as well. Going to put some fresh fuel in it for him, so this can sit here for another couple of days. I've blown the bore out, but I want to give it a fighting chance. I've got my spits in now. So I made these probably about 3 years ago now. I made these. I actually made these for the chap that I was subletting off of at the last place, and then he never ever used them, and I've bought them off of him. But I want to do some mods to it, because when I built them before, all we had was these two tubes. It wasn't a great fit, but it was only going to be on a Mark II Escort, which doesn't weigh a lot. So, and these are both thick enough tubes. It would have been fine. All I had to do was like make some sort of a braking system. But now what I want to do is, I've got these old wheel bearings. That one's a bit shitty, but it doesn't matter for this job. So I've got some 8mm plate. I believe it's 5/16. I did actually Google it before I did this video, so hopefully I remembered right. And I'll cut this off and I'll put a plate in here. These are going to be a bit higher than they were, because I've now got a shit ton of casters as well. So I'm going to strengthen the bases up, put some gussets in. Yeah, put some gussets in both sides, and then put it on caster, so it'll raise it up. And then, like I say, I'll put a big plate here, bolt that to that, make something for this, so then that bolts to that, and then yeah, we'll have, you know, real nice smooth rotisseries. I've got a an old push bike as well that I'm going to cut up. I'm going to try and use the chain crank and sprockets, so then I can sort of turn it by hand and just have a complete fluid motion of spinning the car over. So once I've done them, I will be doing a full video on these, so don't panic too much. Then once I've finished them off and got them all done, as you can see, I made plenty of adjustment in it. Yeah, I've just got to make the brackets to mount it onto this, and then we can get this completely fully stripped. I can start working on it again. But today, yeah, so lots going on. Today I've got a little job in. The customer is an absolute fucking pain in the arse. So I've got to make sure it's right. It's only a small job, but it's got to be fucking perfect. So this is my daughter's push bike, and got a problem with the stabilisers, as you can see from the sort of marring. You know, they just keep sort of spinning off. I mean, it's quite tight, but when she's trying to ride it, they just keep spinning. So I need to make something to block them off. Now I've got this bit of box. It's a bit heavy, but I've already measured this. That's 30mm on the outside there, and that's 30mm on the inside there. So I'm just going to make a nice little washer that caps over that and then sort of slots in there, so then the stabilizer itself will still have all the adjustment to go up and down and sort of have a little bit of spin, but it will lock it all off. Right, so I'm just squaring up that piece of stock, because it was cut with a grinder before, so I just want to square it up and the balance off. Took the stabilizer off and checked it. All we're going to do is just have a quick measure of how big we want it. I think I only want to go for about 30mm, the same sort of width. So we need to a little bit more. I'd say 25mm, I reckon. No, actually it's too small. It needs to be like 20mm. Yes, you really need 20mm off of it. Right, there you go. I've got little cut, holes drilled both sides. If I had a decent pillager, I'd probably have just drilled all that in one go, but I do not. There's just a little pilot hole for now. All we need to do is work out how big the actual shaft is. It's a fine thread, so I don't think it's anything like an M10 or anything, but I've got the caliper out and have a look. 9.4, so 9.5 should be a nice clearance hole. So I've got the holes drilled out both sides, and they beautiful. You can see what I'm doing. Fits over there beautifully. You know, it's not just enough clearance, but you know, not too tight either. So I'm happy with that. I've already gone through and marked out the 15mm where it needs to be cut both sides. So I'm just going to crack on with that. Now, it's very important when you're doing anything like this that you do not clamp it in a vise that way to cut, because what will happen is, as you slice through it, the pressure of the vise will close in on it and squish the blade. That's potentially dangerous. Always make sure you've got it that way. Right, so there you go. That's what I've made. The little dogs. It's not the neatest in the world, but it doesn't have to be for us. Come on, focus, you twat. I've already fixed this side on. All adjusting, but you can see how it works. But this side, I need to just make a little recess in the holes. There we go. That's all cut out, so that slots over nicely now. All I did was just mark it out and then just use a grinder. Nothing special. It's a kid's bike. It doesn't have to be anything special. So now we can assemble.
A child. It's the right size for you.
You comfy? Oh yeah. Just chilling out, just loving life, are you? Right, so now I've got my daughter's bike done. I need to do something for Michelle. Michelle makes these what's called cap tallies. Her daughter's in the Navy, and every boat that they're on, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but every ship that they're on, they get a little tally that goes in their cap, and they're kept like after they leave. And you know, people like to sort of keep them as keepsakes. So Michelle makes what was called cap tallies, or cap tally holders. They're basically this. I can't show the information because it's personal, and you know, Navy and security and everything else, but basically, you know, she burns the designs on. This one's yet to be lacquered, and then we put this bar on, you know, over the top. All of this is handmade. You know, we've cut all this down and sort of machined it all up for her. But I did make a jig a little while ago, so then, you know, she was doing them by hand to start with, but then like, orders kept coming in thick and fast, so I made a jig so then she can basically trace them out. So every single one of them's exactly the same using the router. But now I want to make a jig so she can drill the holes nice and quickly, nice and easy, without having to sort of measure everything out every single time. So is basically the template. I'm just using another scrap of wood. You know, if I use the original template that I'm using, they're all going to be exactly the same, and I'll just use this sort of bit, I don't know what it's called, it's a trim cutter, but basically it just follows the bearing and then cuts it exactly around the edge. Right, so I've got that done, and you can see this is why we use the template, because you know, every single one of these now is going to be exactly the same. You know, that cutter literally just follows the outline. It's awesome. So I'm just going to unscrew this now, and then we'll get it marked out, and then the hole's done. Right, whenever you're doing anything like this, right, for repeatability, it's key that you keep everything in line. So when I made this, I never actually really measured the holes. I just roughed it out, you know, but you know, that's going to work in my favour in this, you know. So marked it top and bottom, right, and I've also literally just gone like that to like that, and then where I screwed it through, you can see here like the witness marks and the holes, but I've just drilled these ones all the way through and countersunk them, so then, you know, they're all the way through, but they're not on the back side. So we've got a nice space now where we can actually drill the holes out. But we also know that, I mean, if you look at the back of this one's got the screw holes from that. So then when we come like, do it in the future, as long as we know which is up and which is down, this will just screw straight into the original holes, and then it's all marked out. Right, so got the holes drilled, and then I've already gone and set the depth on that. So now we're going to see if this is actually Michelle proof, whether she can actually function and do some things. So we're using a scrap piece of wood, and in theory all of them holes will line straight up with them, and then she can just go through and do it. So to the Michelle. Wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Have you even checked that it lines up?
Yes.
Have you? No, you haven't. You need to put the screws in the wood and then actually just double check. Because I haven't.
6 months later.
She worked it out in the end. After I did it. Now what are you doing? You know, it helps if you turn the drill on.
unplugged it.
Helps if you've ever drilled in before. She's had her practice. She's now committed. The practice piece come out absolutely lovely. With the recess in the back. And then we drilled the holes for it. But she's now going, look at her. Look at it. Oh, look. Making
If I
sure.
fuck this one up, then I'm not going to be happy.
We will laugh together.
You won't, because I've already burnt this one.
Well, you need to keep it flat on the table though. Yeah, straight in your eye. Right, that's it for this video. Sort of got a little bit out of hand and went a bit longer than I planned. It was just supposed to be an update and a quick fuck about, but then ended up sort of throwing a load of other shit in as well. So I hope you like it. You know, if you don't, I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said at the top of the video, please like, share and subscribe. Please check out Michelle's Instagram and Facebook page. You know, she's doing these cap tallies, but she does all sorts of pyrography, wood burning. You know, she makes. So we're looking at designing with that cap tally holder, that same design. We're looking at making some secure key holders using like little carabiner sort of things. So that'll be coming out soon. But then she'll, you know, almost anything. You know, so go check out her pages and that. Links are in the description, the same as all my friends. So yeah, go check them out. Check out my Teespring and my Patreon, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye.